welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Lots of love for the first video and the amount of feedback that I've got from it. Amazing. Thank you, people. Thank you so much. And based on those feedback that I've had and the reviews and ideas and questions, I have come up with 4 major topics that I'll be talking about in the second half of our forgiveness video. So let's get into it. The first and the most important thing is forgiveness is not just forgetting the person and just saying that it's okay or tolerating whatever the person did to you. Forgiveness is a selfish thing that you do so that you can move on. Forgiveness does not make you grow over the person, it makes you grow over the things that the other person has done. Okay, so it's basically like a magical band-aid that you can use in between any kind of communicative relationship that a social animal has. It's like in 2 phases. Okay, if I had to explain it to you, it's in 2 phases. The true forgiveness, where you actually forgive the person, you're ready to forget the entire situation that happened, and you like clean slate. You give the person a clean slate. You don't care if they draw a dot, the entire elephant, or they just throw the slate away. It's not your concern. Your concern is basically limited to you being able to give up a clean slate. When it comes to forgiveness, it has happened because the person has hurt you. So there's this entire thing about rebuilding the trust, and that's what the other person has to do. So basically non-closure moments, the time that the other person did not even realize that they made a mistake and you forgiving them anyways, that's what is important. That's what forgiveness gives you, and that is what it is. That's more important in life, just forgiving so that you can move ahead. You can grow over it if you don't want to grow over the person, just in case. The second type of forgiveness happens is when you just say, okay, chalo, maaf kiya, ho gaya. That's better than thou complex of you, which is talking, which is kind of toxifying the entire situation even more. Because imagine you just say you forgave the person, but the hurt of the past is still there, and every time you have a moment that kind of like reminds you of that hurt, you just go back into the loop and you relive the entire hurt moment again. So it's going back in the past, reliving the moment, still not being able to trust new people. That back and forth, it just goes on. It's another level of toxic loop that you have built because you couldn't properly, completely, in a wholesome way forget the other person. And that's the thing where we need to work, because you can make anything toxic if you don't do it right. So yeah, forgiveness can be toxic if you didn't do it wholesomely. And I'm not saying it can happen with a wink of an eye. It can take time. Give yourself time to feel the hurt and then just change that situation, become the better person and forgive. It's as easy as that. Because when you don't forgive, you go back to the past, you go back to the hurt, the anger, the resentment, the hatred, whatever little bits of it is left into you. It's like a parasite. You have a forest fire. The tree that actually caught the fire is a first burned tree. Just like that. It's like a parasite eating you from within, burning you, and then it's going to burn everything around you at the same time. And I don't think we want to spread that kind of a thing right now. Come on, we all are realizing how important some people are in our lives because we've not been able to communicate. Take this chance to realize like people are important, and we don't want to spread bad things among people. We want to be happy, right? We want to be this nice people who just always happy and ready to forgive other people, right? That's not naive forgive people, but just forgive because it's good for us. The second part that I want to talk about is compassion. How do you actually forgive somebody is broken down into 3 bits: compassion, willingness, and understanding of the entire situation of yourself and others. Now, when I'm talking about compassion towards yourself comes first. Because if you cannot forgive yourself and other people for going through whatever you went through, you create a story and you keep telling yourself a story where you're just falling off cliffs over and over again, falling off the tower over and over again. That's just happening, and you get used to falling even in places that you're not supposed to. And then it hurts again, and you just keep telling yourself that you're hurting, and it's another repetitive ripple effect cycle, because once hurt, always hurt. Keeps going until unless you kind of change the dynamics, add a little bit of compassion towards yourself. You have a willingness to go up. Like, you want a willingness mantra. It kind of sounds like this: I don't know how, but I am willing to take the steps to forgive the other person and move on with my life. For whatever reason, whatever they did, that's the basic mantra. You should be willing to forgive the other person, basically. So compassion for yourself, compassion for others, the willingness to actually forgive, and the last bit is the true definition of forgiveness that I have got from a psycho book called Psychomenesis, if you want to go through it. And it says true forgiveness happens when you don't have a reason to hate or even judge the other person. That's true kind of forgiveness. And I know it's very high and it's not that easily reachable, because come on, if you're all humans, we're bound to be stuck into emotions and take the spirals, but we can at least try. We don't have to jump from level 4, 5 to 10, but we can try moving on to a point where we can understand the other person's situation, where we can actually try and not think about all of the wrong things happen to us, but it being a response of the wrong things being done to that person. So your orientation changes from respond to the other person to be yourself, be authentic, and then reply. From respond to giving the person a more authentic, official reply from your end, from your ideas and perspectives. That's when you take the remote control back. So I'm going to give you this little very cute tip that people have, and if you are a workaholic or a very motivated person, forgiveness for you is supposed to be easy. You just have to have that one forward momentum goal in life which is so strong for you that you don't have the time, space, or the mental energy to just go back and relive the hurt in the past. Like, forgiveness then becomes like a click. Okay, I don't have time to think about it. I forgive you. I understand. I'm not, even if I don't understand the concept right now, or your issues, or what you think right now, I am cool with it. You did it, done. Because the hurt is here and you've moved here. So you don't have the time, energy, mental space, capacity to go back here. Like, the loop does not happen. You just keep moving forward. That forward momentum is what takes you ahead. And you just need that one goal for which you want to get up every morning. Just that one goal. Even if it's as simple as writing 3 pages a day. That's simple. All the best.